guys and gals, Joe here, the guy who, gotta be honest, hates having to clock in on Saturdays. My job has me on working on Saturdays right now. And I'm here to talk about UFC 300, and whew, what a card. This card was wild. I hate giving the UFC credit for what they put together here, but this was legitimately a fantastic card. So, enough talk. Let's get to the fights. Main event, Alex Pereira, one of the scariest dudes on the planet, and the light heavyweight champion, and ironically, the champion who's probably the most beatable. We assume he just can't wrestle or grapple, but he was defending his title against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill had a very easy game plan to win here. Just wrestle him. Wrestle him, grapple him, you'll be fine. Take him down. Izzy literally did it. Plant him, he's useless, he can't hurt you. Instead, he decided to trash talk, saying it was going to be make it look easy in the stand-up. He was saying that when he was about to fight a guy who's probably the pound-for-pound hardest hitter in MMA history, while also being a decorated kickboxing champion. Like, this guy's a better striker than you on paper without the power. Add the power in it, it's like, oh my god. So, first round, trading some kicks back and forth. Both guys trying to get their hands set up. Pereira was like using jabs to the body, which was something we've seen him do like 1,000 times. Jabs to the body to set up that just massive monster, almost like signature move, or like an ultra super, or a super in a fighting game, like an ultra or a super. And monster left hook, and then it just comes out. We all saw it coming from the viewer standpoint. We see it, and it levels Jamal Hill. And from there, he pounded on him, and it was a very awkward and late stoppage, I think, from Herb Dean, which, it's Herb Dean, kind of, sadly, it's just kind of something you expect. I thought it was a little late. Easy win for Alex, honestly, easy KO win. And then actually had a really funny moment. He took a potential low blow. It was a body kick that might have went a little low. Herb Dean tried to stop it, and he just goes, no. Stiff arms him, no, stop, I'm fine. And then after that, he just... I was like, when someone talks trash, it's got to feel great. So he says that he wants to fight at 301, because that was originally, this fight was going to be the main event for UFC 301. They couldn't put anything together, even though they said they've been planning and doing all this. So they moved this to this main event. And he says, I'll still fight at 301, because he didn't take any damage or anything like that. And he says he'll do it, but at heavyweight. Now, bump something there. I am a fan of good fight cards. 301 isn't a great fight card on paper yet. It's looking a little rough. If he did it, it would help out. So I do like that idea. But I also know that there isn't a lot of good wrestlers at heavyweight, like Curtis Blades, Yelton Almeida. And so that's it. And that's awkward. I think that's awkward because I don't like... I feel like, I think me and Carl always make this reference. He can't keep getting away with it. Jesse Pinkman talking about Walter White. It's like us watching him avoid fighting another wrestler. He's not actively avoiding it. It's more like the UFC just isn't going to put him up against one. That's just kind of how it is. Regardless, if he does come back to 205, he's probably going to, I'm 90% sure he's going to fight Ankalaev, who's a good grappler, he's a good wrestler. He can strike, but he's a very good wrestler and strike. Oh, what's up? Oh, he says he's going to beat Alex Pereira in striking. Well, here we go again. It's really funny. There was 3 title fights. 2 of them were for real belts. 1 of them was for a fake phony belt. But the fight we're all going to be talking about was from the fake paper belt. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, a dream match of the ages. Really interesting. Max moving up from featherweight to go to 155. And he looked huge, actually. So what happened? These guys just let it rip for this BMF belt. But it was Max who was dominating early. He was just piecing him up. His leg was jacked up, okay? But he was letting it rip with his punches and his boxing while getting some good kicks in there whenever he had to. A lot of kicks because he's trying to block the pathway for Gaethje's kick. So if Gaethje's getting kicked, it's really hard to kick. You kick a kicker, kind of thing. And Gaethje's like kind of like, you know, he got a really bad broken nose in the first round from a spinning back kick, like a jumping spinning back kick to the face. It was intended for the body, going for the liver. But, you know, Gaethje just kind of always goes down like this to the side when he's like kind of, you know, moving. And he kept ducking into this kick. He ducked into it the first round and it kind of landed like this. And your nose can kind of like bounce a little bit. So I think it like went like that or something. I don't know. It's really awkward. He had like a really big cut here. Almost like his nose was ripping off of his face. So really nasty broken nose. And we had all that in. Just like a Max masterclass of a performance. I thought I had him winning every round. Something I didn't expect. I thought Gaethje was going to get him eventually, but man, Max. You know, but it did something actually that didn't happen. First time ever, Max was knocked down. Justin Gaethje is the first person to ever knock down Max Holloway. Unbelievable. But something beautiful happened. 10 seconds left. Something beautiful happens. Just like in the Ricardo Lamas fight, which if you've watched my retro reviews, you know that I said, hey, that moment in the Ricardo Lamas fight where 10 seconds left, let's just slug it out, makes that fight go from, it's okay, till, wow, this is a really good fight. In a fight that's really good already, Max does it. Calls Justin Gaethje, the guy who is, like, probably the hardest hitter lightweight's ever seen. And just says, let's do it. Yeah. And they go at it. They throw bombs with, like, reckless abandon for 9 seconds. Because with 1 second left, a Max Holloway haymaker comes crashing into Gaethje and KOs him. Face plants him. Last second buzzer beater with a haymaker. That's probably the best finish to a fight of all time. I think the best one-punch KO of all time is still Hendo on Bisping. But this whole sequence, this fight's already really good. Definitely going to be a fight of the year contender. Because Gaethje just refuses to not have a fight of the year contender. Max is pretty good at having those too. But this like whole sequence and the KO, that's probably like a top 3 KO ever. In my opinion, at least. You just kind of go, huh. Like that's got to be the craziest finish to a fight of all time. Unbelievable. Like with it's just, you know, it's kind of like context. You need the context. And it's the best finish of all time. Unbelievable. I mean, Gaethje's been TKO'd before, but he's never been like KO'd. He went out so hard that his face, he kneed himself on the face while going down. Like as he's crumbling the face plant, his knee hit his face. Like there was blood on his knee, and I went, where did that come from? And then when they showed the 360, I went, oh, you know, he was out for a while. Like Max was like really sitting down on his punches in this fight and had some power, and just an unbelievable moment in an unbelievable fight. As corny as that is, it's the truth. But for the rest of the card, Weili Zhang actually choked out Yan Xiaonan in the first round, but at the buzzer, she didn't tap. And they let her keep going. It was a weird moment. Sadly, Yan Xiaonan did lose a unanimous decision win, as Weili Zhang gets another title defense on her belt. Arman Tsarukyan gave Charles Oliveira like Ric Flair hair, like his blonde, beach blonde hair kind of thing, or bleach blonde hair. It was cutting him up with elbows, and it was like just red, you know. It looked like some Ric Flair hair. But really good performance by Arman Tsarukyan. I thought he was winning the striking. I thought he was winning the wrestling. But the grappling for the most part. But there was 2 or 3 at the end of the first. He almost nearly got guillotined in the very beginning of the first round. At the end of the second round, Charles Oliveira locks in a triangle, and it's go. Ooh. It was like super close, obviously 10 more seconds thing. And then in the third round, Charles Oliveira goes for a Darce choke, which is super deep. It's a really good fight, actually. I thought this was like, when I watched it, I was like, this is probably going to be fight of the night, right? Like, or there's another fight that should have been on the main card. I thought was going to be fight of the night, maybe. And then, of course, you know, I don't know why I counted out Max and Justin, but split decision win for Arman Tsarukyan. Bone nickel. He himself wasn't impressed by his performance. And I wasn't either. But, you know, he's really good. It's just like, I kind of want to see him step up in competition. Cody Brundage got a rear naked choke on Cody Brundage in round 2. Biggest favorite of all time, I think, in MMA history. Yuri Prohaska, he showed why he should have opened up the main card by actually getting a good fight out of Alexander Rakic. That's unheard of to me. And it ended in a great TKO win with Jiri just bombing on Rakic. Aljamain Sterling, he dominated Calvin Kattar in the wrestling for his featherweight debut. Kayla Harrison just beat up and destroyed Holly Holm, who, hilariously enough, Holly Holm tried Holly Holming Kayla Harrison in the opening round. It was so funny to me. I was dying laughing. But Kayla Harrison did get a rear naked choke win in the second round. Diego Lopez put on a clinic with a super quick TKO over Sadiq Youssef, showing off more of that power in his punches. This dude's a problem already at 145. It is awesome to see. I'm a huge fan of this guy already. Renato Moicano, he nearly got KO'd by Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner blasted him with a straight left, tried to walk off for, trying to get this $300,000 bonus. And that threw the fight because Moicano came back for a TKO in the second round. A great comeback, honestly. Jessica Andrade got a really odd decision win over Marina Rodriguez. I thought Rodriguez had won the fight, personally. Bobby Green dominated Jim freaking Miller, which spoiled his dominant run in the 00 UFC pay-per-views. I mean, I love Jim Miller, but Bobby Green starched him. Just pieced him up constantly. And finally, Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt opened up the whole card. Kind of wild. Figueiredo just walking through punches, putting him down when he has, and got the fight to the mat for a rear naked choke win. And that's it for me. We just got done watching, it was UFC 300. It was a great card, I thought. It's actually a really good card, honestly. And it kind of makes you sad that we're not going to get good cards like this for a while because of how much effort they put into this card, except for the main event. They didn't put effort for the main event. They just snagged it from 301. The main event was good. I'm not saying the main event was bad or those fighters are bad. It's good. It's just kind of hurts a little bit. But you know what is also good, though? The Retro Review series. And I don't even think it's good. I think it's perfect. I think it's great, even. We have a new one drop just recently on the channel, UFC 125. And we got another one coming up with UFC 100, which is right now on the Patreon. If you join our Patreon, you can watch that content early. I got done watching the UFC 100 Retro Review. You know why? Because I'm also on the Patreon, too. It's called supporting the team. Support the team, dude. Anyways, I'm Joe with the INC. Thank you so much for watching.